welcome back. You're watching Get Serial TV with Thomas and Camilla. It's now time for Sports Update with Andrew Marmont. How you going?
Yeah, Camilla.
That's good.
Hey, been doing my stretches, Andrew? Yeah, we're out of the changing rooms and ready to play. Is it sport?
I like it.
What have you got for us today?
Today I thought we'd talk about Rugby League in Victoria, and the reason why I say it is because State of Origin played on Wednesday night. I think a lot of people know that Rugby League is in Victoria with the Melbourne Storm, and there's a bit of exposure, yes, but no one really understands it and cares. There's not an appreciation of Rugby League in Victoria.
Why is that? Why isn't rugby should be much bigger in Melbourne and in Victoria? Why isn't it?
Well, I mean that's a question I asked today because I talked to Brental, who is the ARL, Australian Rugby League Development Officer for Melbourne and Victoria, and basically gave me some stats about the rise of league in Victoria, and the amount of clubs that are in Victoria who play league has basically doubled. The same with the player roster, went from 700 in 2006 to 1,400 today. I mean, the State of Origin, the Victorian government was formed a partnership with the Australian Rugby League to try and generate the elite and put resources into it. So, yeah, I guess the question is today is why is there not an awareness and an interest in the game when it's such a great product that Victorians aren't buying?
I think because Melbourne alone is such a massive sporting capital, and then we've got the AFL, and I think it comes down to the way it's marketed, really. I mean, soccer's huge as well.
I think it also relates to a certain understanding of the game. I mean, I personally was sort of brought up in AFL, and to be honest, I still don't really understand. Like, I know how it works and stuff, but I don't understand the subtleties of Rugby League and Union the way I would with AFL. And I don't think I was taught growing up because it wasn't spoon-fed to me like AFL was.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an interesting point because with an easy it's introduced into a new place. Obviously, there's got to be time to pick it up and appreciate it. League has been in Victoria for 10 years in terms of the Melbourne Storm, so there's a bit of time to let it build. But I feel like since I've been here, there's not been that. Victoria doesn't quite understand the difference between the two.
Okay, because you've really got a background in rugby, and you've kind of come into the AFL side of things. It's almost reversed, really. Maybe
you could give us a couple of pointers on how, the differences. It sounds like you have a pretty good understanding of Rugby League versus Union.
Yes.
I think we're going to go to a quick break, or not yet. No? Yes? No? Not yet. Could you give us a couple of tips on,
the differences between League and Union?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, Union's 15 and League is 13, but what we'll do is we'll come back after the...
Oh, good. I understand you'll also be having a quick chat about Andrew Symonds and his latest discrepancy.
That's right.
Sure, we'll be right back after this. Stick around.
I feel totally uncomfortable. My boyfriend wants me to...
My best friend told me that she wants me. What do I do? Girls don't like me.
How do they can like me? Well...
The Naughty Root Show is Sim's way of talking about sex and sexual issues. Those naughty rooters tackle all the deep and dark issues. Questions you can't ask your parents, or won't. The Naughty Root Show, 8 till 10 Sunday nights on Sim 9.
Get Serial TV with Thomas and Camilla. Right now we're joined with Andrew Marmont, who's talking all about sport, and this morning he's telling us about Rugby League in Victoria, because it's not as big as it should be in Victoria, is it?
Well, from the grassroots level, it is growing, but
good.
we were talking about the public awareness is not quite as much as it is if you compare it to AFL in, say, Sydney and Queensland in the time it's been generating.
Do you want to quickly just go through the differences between the League and Union, just quickly?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, with Union, there's 15 players. With League, there's 13, so that's one. Union, there's no set amount of tackles that you're limited to. You can continue on. It's a possession. A team can hold it for a lot longer. With League, you have to have 6 possessions or 6 tackles, and you have to do something at the end of it.
By tackle, are tackles the same as stoppages, like when people go to ground? And
that's right. Yeah. So that's a stoppage. Yeah. Same 80 minutes. The points are slightly different. In Union, a try's worth 5. And conversion does 2 to make it 7. League, it's a tries 4, conversion and penalty at 2, so slightly different and that side of things. Different speed. Union tends to be a lot more tactical, kicking, line-outs, possession, whereas League is just designed to be as quick as possible, play the ball quickly,
They're actually very, very different. I'm trying to take notes, but there's a lot of difference.
Student eyes.
Thank you.
I'm glad you understood it, because it can be, to the untrained or the person who's not aware it hasn't been brought up, it does sound a bit like the same rugby to be union and league, but
They are quite different.
very
aren't they?
different.
Which is your preference, personally?
Well, from New Zealand, union is the traditional heartland. However, rugby league is my passion if you compare it to the two. But that's just, I don't know why that is.
You're a bit of a crusader for it then.
That's right.
Okay. Did you play growing up and everything?
No, I was going to make a joke about look at me, but I didn't. I just did actually then.
Oh, good one. Or you
I tried to, but we didn't do it.
drew attention to it.
Yeah. So that's I guess about that. I mean, yeah, I think it's got a lot of potential with league in Victoria, but I guess it just needs more people to understand it.
It seems like it is on the up and up though, from what you were saying before, so that's a good thing.
Certainly grassroots.
Now, something also in the news this week, big story in the cricketing world is the Andrew Symonds saga. I mean, finally that's come to an end, hasn't it?
Well, it is very disappointing because he's such a talent and such a good player in terms of the Australian setup. He brings so much to the side and leadership experience, but unfortunately it looks like that he's had his last discretion.
Really?
And so he was sent home from the 2020 World Championships.
So it's all over, that's it now for him, no more chances.
Speculation it is, but of course it's not confirmed yet. They have to review his contract, and we'll have to know,
It's
obviously.
really disappointing because he was such a, I don't know, a triple threat they call it in cricket, isn't it? Fielding, batting and bowling, like such a good all-rounder. And for such a long amount of time he's been, in the Australian team.
He's had a presence, definitely, yeah.
For sure.
Okay. At least he's got his fishing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Take away that.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks very much, Andrew. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
Now time for a clip. The last shadow puppet standing next to me. Stick around.